In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 travel tips that I've learned as a professional touring musician. Coming up. Welcome back to the channel, RJ Ronquillo here. If you're new here, thanks for joining me. So I've been a touring musician for a long time now, and yes, you may have heard that I'm taking this year off from touring to concentrate on this channel and a few other projects here in Nashville. But I still consider myself a touring musician, and I've been doing it since 2002, so 17 years, which seems like a long time, but that's also a lot of miles traveled. Everything from cargo vans with no seats to private jets. I suppose I've experienced all the different levels, but honestly, I feel like touring musicians are more like professional travelers that play music for fun. And that's what I always tell people who ask me what it's like. I get paid to wait around in airports and sleep in buses and play the music for free. So when you travel that much, you learn ways to make traveling easier, tolerable, less painful. And I'm gonna share with you my top 5 travel tips and essentials that I've learned from being a touring musician. And these are not just for touring musicians. If you do any kind of traveling for business or vacation, if you're one of the lucky ones that go on vacation, these can be extremely valuable to you as well. Okay, number 1, invest in a good neck pillow. So I bought this pillow in 2006, and I remember it exactly. I had a layover at Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. I was flying to Hawaii for a winter vacation with my family, and I was killing time at a Sharper Image store there. And I knew it was gonna be a long flight. It's like 9 hours from Dallas to Honolulu. And being that it was Christmas time, I figured, hey, why don't I treat myself to a Christmas present and buy a fancy $80, yes, $80 Tempur-Pedic neck pillow. But by God, if I haven't used this thing on every single tour and trip since then. This is literally the firmest neck pillow I've ever used, and it has awesome support, which is kind of what you want. You know those soft, cuddly, cheap ones that have zero support that you can buy at the newsstand at the airport? Those are pointless. When I fly, sometimes I'll even put it behind my lower back like this for some lumbar support because it's that firm. Even on tour buses or like in hotels where there's crappy pillows, I'll use this neck pillow. I'll just turn it around and make it like a U shape, and I'll put this part underneath my neck, and then these outer parts kind of cradle my head into place so it keeps it, oh, it's comfortable right now. This is a good backup pillow to have depending on where you're staying or where you're sleeping. Sometimes when I'm driving long distances, I'll use this, not because I'm sleeping when I drive, but it actually helps my neck and my shoulders from getting fatigued and sore. Also, it's got this zipper because the cover is removable, but you can also hide stuff in here.
And you put your weed in here.
Yes, it's an $80 neck pillow, but considering I've had this for 13 years, freaking neck pillow for 13 years, and I've been all over the world with it, I'd say it's more than paid for itself. And the amazing thing, it hasn't lost its support. You know, it's memory foam, so it's remembered where to go for 13 years, I guess. So I highly suggest investing in a good memory foam neck pillow, whether it's a Tempur-Pedic brand or something else. It's totally worth the price, and it will probably be the last neck pillow you'll ever need to buy. Okay, number 2, headphones. Even if you don't listen to music, headphones can be essential when traveling. I obviously use them to listen to music, podcasts, or to watch YouTube videos, but I also use them to tune out from the world. I'll use a white noise app on my phone to help me sleep, or just for some quiet time, or just use the noise canceling feature in the headphones. It's been proven that prolonged exposure to excess sound and noise pollution can cause stress and make you feel tired. So preventing that auditory sensory overload is a good thing. Now, I use several kinds on the road, and each one has a specific purpose. I've gone through all kinds of headphones, earbuds, in-ears, on the ear, over the ear, all sorts of brands too, like Audio-Technica, Grado, Sennheiser, JBL. And for the longest time, I would always see these business people on the plane with those fancy Bose noise-canceling headphones. And I was always like, I'm not gonna spend $350 on a pair of headphones, are you kidding me? Well, fast forward to last year. I was doing a lot of touring and traveling with my friend Judith Hill. We went to Europe on 2 separate runs. So that's a lot of flying and riding in trains and driving, basically planes, trains, and automobiles.
How
may I help?
You can start by wiping that.
And I admit it, I caved in. And honestly, I wanted to see what the fuss was all about with these expensive noise-canceling headphones. But let me tell you, after that first flight, which was like 16 hours from LA to Qatar. Not Qatar, but Qatar. It's the country in the Middle East. So 16 hours, I knew why these headphones were so championed amongst real travelers. Whereas other headphones would start hurting my ears and making them feel sweaty after like an hour or two. With these Bose headphones, I only took them off my ears maybe like once or twice just to talk to the flight attendants. These really are the most comfortable headphones I've ever had. And they're soft and they never feel tight. It's like they just sit on your ears like a cloud. And I don't know how or what they're made out of, but they seem to be more breathable than the other headphones I've owned. And I kind of feel like they're the lightest headphones I've owned. I'm sure there's lighter ones out there. The sound quality is kind of middle of the road. It's not gonna make an uber audiophile too excited or someone that's used to the bass response of Beats too happy. But I think it's well balanced and the sound is very clear. It does have Bluetooth as well as a cable that you can plug into, which is convenient. The noise canceling feature, while not super strong by itself, has still been good for every situation I've ever been in. And when you have the noise canceling on with like your music or the white noise app, you don't hear anything. And you know, before I would just use my in-ear monitors that I use for stage. These thingies. These are my custom molded in-ears. I gotta clean these are gross. And even though they don't use noise canceling technology, because they fit perfectly into my ear canal, they block out almost all outside noise. The downside was having them in for long periods of time was kind of uncomfortable. And I don't think it's necessarily the best for hygiene either. There's not really airflow when you have them in, so your ears would kind of feel swampy and gross. And I don't even want to imagine what kind of crap can grow in that environment. So obviously I use these for my profession, but these don't come cheap. These custom molded in-ears from 64 Audio are close to $1,000. So for travelers and casual listeners, I wouldn't suggest spending money on these, but I think these Bose Quiet Comforts are totally worth the price tag. Sleeping on the road is very valuable to me, and unfortunately I've experienced many situations like noisy hotels, sleeping in buses with or rooming with people that snore. Yeah, you know who you are, I'm talking to you. Personally, I use the white noise app on my phone or sometimes listen to the deep sleep playlist on Spotify for a good night's sleep. But while the Bose Quiet Comfort headphones are comfortable for normal use and dozing off on an airplane, they aren't good for sleeping in bed, especially for you side sleepers out there. For the longest time, I just used earbuds connected to the phone. But the problem with that is that the cable would get tangled as I moved around and my phone would sometimes fall off the nightstand, waking me up. And because all the phone manufacturers, you bastards, got rid of the headphone jacks, I couldn't charge my phone at the same time unless I got a splitter, which ends up being more of a hassle. But recently, I found this thing on Amazon for 18 bucks. Basically, Bluetooth headband sleep headphones. I was a bit skeptical of these just because they were kind of cheap and I didn't expect them to work that great, but honestly, I've been using these at home as well as on the road. And yes, there's pros and cons to this. On the plus side, these are very comfortable to sleep in. I can sleep on my side without hurting my ears. The Bluetooth works great so I don't have to be chained to my phone all night. And the battery life is actually awesome. Usually I only need to charge this after 2 or 3 nights of sleep. The downside is the way the ear pads rest on your ears, they just kind of rest on your ears and not necessarily directly over your ears, but you can adjust them. But you're never gonna get an awesome sound quality with any kind of bass response unless you physically press them in, which, you know, you might be able to get one side in when you're sleeping on your side. But because I'm usually using it for the white noise or just simple ambient sleep music, it's really not an issue for me. But another problem, since they aren't isolated to your ears, you do hear a little bit of outside noise, and the louder you turn up, the more sound leakage there's going to be. And if you sleep with a partner or you're rooming with somebody, they will most likely hear it. So make sure you turn down your jams. My wife has only complained once that she could hear what I was listening to, but keeping the volume under like 75% is usually fine depending on what you're listening to. So for me, these two headphones, the Bose and these headband sleep headphones are necessities not only for travel, but for everyday life and every night life. Get it? Because you're sleeping and Number 3, another product that I've found to be essential when traveling is a good sleep mask. And I know between this and these headphones, I'm basically put together a portable sensory deprivation tank of sorts. And by the way, don't Google sensory deprivation mask unless you're into that kind of stuff. But I don't think they'd let you onto a plane with that. If you've seen some of my tour vlogs, you may have seen this.
This is exactly why I got this Manta sleep mask. Curtains in this room don't really block out any light. This does.
Some people can sleep in broad daylight easily, but not me usually. I prefer almost total blackout. In hotels, I'll always close the blackout curtains, which apparently they don't have in Bucharest. Sometimes if like the alarm clock is too bright, I'll just unplug it. If you've ever tried to sleep on a flight during the day and the person in the window seat wants to read his or her 50 Shades of Grey book and they don't want to close the window, or the person next to you has the overhead light on, I know you just want to go to sleep, right? But a good sleep mask can remedy all of these issues. Not all sleep masks are created equal. Much like neck pillows, the cheapo ones are okay, but this one, the $30 Manta sleep mask, is simply the best I've ever used. You know, the regular flat ones that you might get for free from the airline or some hotel, those aren't that comfortable to me. They almost feel like I'm being blindfolded and kidnapped. And usually they don't block out the light that well. I mean, you can still see a little bit of light peeking through. What I like about this Manta one is that it's total blackout. Like I literally cannot see any light coming through the sides or coming through the front. And the iPads are actually, I don't know if you can see this, the iPads are hollowed out so you don't have any pressure on your eyelids. You can open your eyes if you need to. I don't know if you'd want to, but you're not gonna see anything because it's total 100% blackout. These are fastened with Velcro, so you can actually adjust it according to your face. Really, it's just like the most comfortable sleep mask I've ever used. It's as if the Bose Quiet Comforts were on my eyes. It's that same kind of soft, cloudy feeling. Boom, look at this. And it comes with this carrying case that you can use to wash the mask in a washing machine. And it even includes a set of foam earplugs. And let me tell you, this has been a lifesaver on the road. Between this and the headphones and the neck pillow, I can sleep virtually anywhere at any time. It's awesome. Okay, the next item I highly recommend is a Multitool. If you've watched my tour vlog from Copenhagen, I had some technical issues with my pedal board, and this little Leatherman came in super handy. As a touring musician, this has come in very handy for opening up pedals, fixing guitar strap buttons, cutting string ends. And for you general travelers, there may be times when you need to fix something on your luggage or your backpack or one of your electronics, or you need to like open up your laptop or something. I know for me, there have been times when I bought something that was in that annoying molded plastic packaging, and the blade was really handy. So stop using your car keys for stuff like that, just get a Multitool. This one is the Leatherman Squirt PS4. And at 35 bucks, it's one of the smaller models that Leatherman offers. And I like it for that reason, as well as the tools that it has. It's got these pliers with wire cutters. There's a little file, which I'll probably never use, but you never know. Obviously screwdrivers, one flathead with a bottle opener, and then it's got one that you can use for Phillips heads. It's got a little pair of scissors, snip, 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 snip. And it's got a small blade. Now because of the blade, if you fly, remember to put it in your checked luggage because TSA will confiscate this. I know. I've had 2 taken away. A Leatherman and a Swiss Army. Oh, speaking of Swiss Army, I like to keep this one on my keychain. This is more basic. This has a blade. It's got a file that doubles as like a screwdriver. It has scissors, but it also has, and this is probably the stuff I use most, it has a flashlight, LED flashlight, and it's got a little pen. This pen has come in handy more times than I ever expected. Have you ever gone out to eat with a group of friends and you've had to wait for that one pen that your server leaves to sign your bill? Well, not anymore. Okay, and the last thing I always have with me when I travel, and I pray I never have to use, is Imodium. Now, I really don't want to go into detail, and I don't think I need to tell you. Now, when you tour and travel, you're gonna eat and drink a lot of crap. Let me rephrase that. A variety of things. And unfortunately, some of those things might not treat you well. Trust me, I know from experience. Very traumatic experiences. But quick advice, don't drink tap water, have drinks with ice, or eat raw vegetables unless you're in one of these countries. And even then, it's not totally foolproof. And that's why I always carry Imodium with me. I know this sounds like an ad for Imodium, but it isn't. Johnson & Johnson are not sponsoring this video. Like the other essentials I named, this has literally saved my ass. Pun intended and double entendre intended. Just trust me on this. Oh, and another quick tip. Never eat at buffets on the road. Do you know how many hands touch that food? It's freaking nasty. You know what? I'm gonna give you some bonus tips because I like you guys that much. One of the first things I learned when I started touring, always bring a jacket or warm hoodie, even if you think it's gonna be hot where you're going. Because weather can change drastically, and many times the weather forecasters let me down. Let's just say I played an outdoor show in Arizona and forgot that it gets cold at night in the desert. And I only brought t-shirts because I was living in Florida at the time. And the only thing I could buy was a Wu-Tang Clan hoodie in size XXL. And a tip for you musicians out there, if you're carrying your guitar or your bass on the plane, you want to board as early as you can, whether that means paying for an upgraded boarding position or standing in line first. Yeah, nobody wants to be that guy, but the earlier you can board the plane, the better your chances are of scoring overhead space for your gig bag. And technically, the flight crew can't say anything. Also, a word about gig bags. In the event that they don't allow you to carry it on and make you gate check it, which happens to me all the time, just make sure you have a good protective gig bag. Don't travel with one of those thin, flimsy gig bags. There's many companies out there that make really protective gig bags. They're not going to be super cheap, but they're totally worth it. They're totally worth the peace of mind. I personally like Monocase or Reunion Blues gig bags. I find that they have enough support, and I have no endorsement relationship with any of those brands. That's just what I bought. That's what I use on the road. They work great. Well, there you have it, folks. My 5+ travel tips and essentials. If you enjoyed this video, click that thumbs up. Share it with your friends, family, your friendly TSA agent. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, tour vlogs or gear demos, click that subscribe button. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time.